Hi, friends. Today has been chaotic. I'm getting ready to fly to LA. I took the longest time, but I packed before this morning. I fly in the morning, and I packed before that, which is good because I like to believe that I can pack in like 30 minutes, and it definitely took me like 2 hours. But I did my laundry, so that's good. But what you really care about is these stories, baby. We're gonna fly through them so I can go to sleep, but also I just need something a little cathartic as well. So let's jump into story number 1. Okay, the title was getting me, okay? It says, my 27 male boyfriend, a 30-year-old male, thinks he can do better than me. And I'm a placeholder. I feel heartbroken. All right, you know what? Have your feels and then vamos. I borrowed his laptop and he was receiving iMessage notifications and his friends were talking about me and girls. Is he bi? I guess that's what that implies. Unless they met. Let me skim a little bit. I believe she's a woman. I believe this is a typo. I think it should be like my 27-year-old female boyfriend, 30-year-old male. I think that's what she meant, right? Or maybe not. Who's to say? But let's continue. I opened it because I wanted to know what was being said. All right, dangerous game. I was like, clearly it didn't work out, but I guess it did work out because now you know. But, careful. Curiosity killed the cat. Okay? He told his friends I was fine. How do you recover from this? He told my... Man, you. He told his friends I was fine for now. What? But he wants to do better than me. That's so jacked up. Even if you're like, I wonder if they think that for them to like say it out loud, but like via like write it out and verbalize or write it out to someone is insane behavior. And they said he can't. You deserve better, King. You dropped this. Crazy. Listen. Misery loves company and delusion loves more delusion. I don't know if there's a saying for that. They were sending pictures of girls from Instagram. Yeah, so it sounds like they're a high quality group of men. Just top tier. My boyfriend included, and he said he was speaking to a girl already. Jesus. I honestly feel sick. I would too. This was last night. I still feel nauseous. I don't think I'm horrible. Oh, sweetie, don't do that to yourself. I don't think I'm horrible looking. This is clearly a this is clearly a character flaw on his part. This is nothing to about you and your looks. And the question is, even if you're like, well, I'm not all that. Is he? You're like, I don't look like a model. Does he? Be honest. Come on. You want to? Sometimes you need to do a tit for tat. Be like, am I worthy of this? And be like, well, is he worthy of this? I asked that myself once for someone. I said the answer was a hell no. It was only a no for me. Okay. Sometimes I get compliments from random strangers outside. I'm not sure if they're being nice. Well, who would go out of their way to... All right, whatever, girl. And he always makes me feel so attractive. I've gotten the vibes that sometimes he thinks he's better than me. It's giving power dynamics. Like, I make sure you feel close and that I support you, but then I can throw you down at any time. So that way you always are seeking approval from me. It's giving that. I've gotten the vibe that he thinks he's better than me, but I'm also I'm in law school and I still try my best to be a good girlfriend and make time for him. Now, if you're in law school, I expect you to have a better brain than this, okay? I need to look at the facts of the situation, of the case, if you will. I can't think of anything that I did wrong, because you didn't. I guess he just wants better. And let him find it. Let him find it. I challenge. Not only do I challenge it, I encourage him to go on a hero's journey. I'll be there someday. Come on now. Hercules. I just don't know what the hell happened. I thought he was going to propose. Damn. How long were y'all together? It doesn't say. Ooh, girl, you were way off. Okay. But you also said, Sometimes you feel like he's better than. I guess that could just be, you could not know if you're reading that correctly or if that's a constant undercurrent. You don't specify as to him being better than you or feeling that he feels that way. I thought we were locked in, especially since he told me all about his traumas. Girl, that's just make you feel guilty for him whenever he makes mistakes. That's not always the case, but it does happen often. I was with someone once and they kept saying things that had happened to them. I was like, yeah, like and I thought they were trying to, they felt comfortable and I wanted them to know like they weren't alone because it was very specific things. And I'm like, yeah, like especially like things that a lot of, I think, gay men end up going through. So I was like, yeah. And I was like talking about it. And I saw this look on his face like he was surprised. And I'm like, I don't know if this should be surprising. I'm like, I hope this wasn't me like trying to take away from his experience. Come to find out, I was like, oh, you were just hoping I felt bad to justify your bad behavior. You'd be like, well, I should give him, be more patient because he has gone through these things. I'm like, well, I went through these things too, and I'm not a I needed to get that out of my system clearly. Yes, you have to be careful of that. Sometimes it'll be like I feel comfortable with you, so I want to share. You have to make sure it's not like them using this as opportunities to put these like hooks in your mind that will make you easily forgive people for things that they don't deserve. Because, right, it's not their fault that they were traumatized, but it is their responsibility to heal. It's not their fault that they got cut, but it's not okay for them to bleed on others. You constantly have to remind yourself of that, especially when someone's older, right? We're talking in our 20s and 30s. Let's do better. It was an emotional moment, and I just thought he trusted me for a reason, and he felt like I was it for him. After that, I never second guessed our relationship or how it felt about me. Girl, I'm so sorry. I don't sound sorry. That's because I'm tired. But I really am sorry. I am. That sucks. One comment says, in fact, it will be much more satisfied to not even mention what you discovered. Ah. I like it. And here's why I like it. I like that because you don't say, you call him up. Come on. Once I broke up with someone, maybe a little too fast, but I was like, you can't beat me to the punch because if you do, I have to live with that embarrassment. And I said, that's not happening, not in this lifetime at least. But you need to take charge. You need to be the one to say like, hey, can we talk about something? This just isn't working out for me. No, and you shouldn't, I don't think you should allude to the fact of like, I just think I can do better. I don't think you should go there because then I think he'll know that you know. I think you just need to give him a thing of like, no, especially if he's not in law school. Maybe I know it's classes. I just don't like doing this. So maybe you're like, I'm going in law school and like I'm thinking about how I want to spend the rest of my life, and I think it's someone that's a little more aligned in like lifestyle to me in terms of like professional living, in terms of like income, and we've just been together for so long that it's either like, right, we're getting married or we're breaking up, and I just don't think I see marriage with someone like you. No, that came out wrong, but it came out right. Boom! Hit him with a chopper. Yeah, no, I think you. Let me see what else. Just tell him that most relationships end. I was pretty spot on. Most relationships end. And this one has run its course, but do it. No. Do it my way. You'll see what the rest of it says on the screen. Do it my way, because my way, that's a stinger, baby. You want him not to be able to recover. Go ahead, talk to your little Instagram model. You're already talking to someone. He'll be fine. Don't think about him. This is about you. This is about you getting your lick before he can leave you with some trauma, okay? And then go to therapy to make sure that you are able to decipher when you're making connections with someone and when they're trying to put you in this kind of position of like control and placement. And again, this isn't your fault. And people like this are very sneaky. So I didn't even think that like this is fully a self-esteem issue. I think maybe you would have caught it earlier or maybe ended things if you like felt a little thing. But it sounds like he was really like playing the game with you. So like truly, do not blame yourself in this situation. But definitely now that you know, take control. Because if you miss taking control and he just leaves you for someone else, I listen. Listen, if you get ahead of it, you will save yourself a lots of time and pain and misery and suffering. Okay. Next story. Ooh, this one is interesting because it also talks about trauma. So 23-year-old female, ghosted a guy, 24-year-old male. Ghosting usually isn't that good. After he charmed up on the first date. Well, if it's the first date, well, you should always send a message if you go on a date. Don't let it fizzle out. Try to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Let's remember the golden rule. But it sounds like it was a little tumultuous, so maybe he should be able to read between the lines. Let's find out. Oh, then he called me his safe space. Ah, now, girl, run. Nene Leaks. I, 23-year-old female, met this guy, 24-year-old male, online. Seemed chill at first. Funny, decent looking, kind of introverted. We decided to meet for coffee. Nothing serious. Nothing serious. First 15 to 20 minutes. Cool. Then takes a sharp left. Okay. This might be an MO thing. Suddenly he's unpacking his entire childhood trauma, past relationship scars, his abandonment issues, and how he's never met someone who made him feel this comfortable so fast. I doubt it. I doubt that's the first time he said that to you. And I don't even think that it might not be disingenuous. He might have just forgotten that feeling he existed with people he did it for before where it fell apart. And then the last memory of them is a negative one. And that becomes fresh again with you. If he is doing this in a way that is actually kind of innocent because he's unaware and kind of unhinged. Mind you, we've known each other for maybe a week. Yeah. And this is our first time meeting in person. I hear you, girl. He keeps saying how rare this connection feels. How safe out, girl, you need to run. How maybe this is something bigger than the. He might even be in a cult. That sounds kind of crazy. Where this is just meant to happen. All right. And like, I mean, who of us hasn't? Let's be honest. Who of us hasn't been on a date? You're like, there's something about this that felt. There's something about this that just felt so right and real. And that's the last time you saw that person. Oh, it might have been right and real for you. Or it might have just been good, but like for some reason it just ended up falling apart. I've had both. Sometimes you'll be on a date and it can feel electric, but like you don't necessarily verbalize that out loud. I think the closer you get to that, it was like something was really nice about tonight. Something along those lines where you're like, I want to acknowledge that this wasn't just a regular date. This felt extra special. I think that's fine. I don't think you ever say something about this is bigger than either of us can see. Maybe he just finished watching a Disney movie or something. That's crazy. Meanwhile, I'm just sipping my espresso thinking, sir, I don't even know your last name. I know that's right, girl. This is Get Out, coffee edition. Didn't argue or shut him down, just smiled, nodded, wrapped up the date politely, but never texted again. Didn't block him or anything, just went quiet. Ghosted in a sense. Well, I mean, he could have also texted you. If he texted you and you didn't text back, that's different. Now our mutual friend is saying I was cold and that ghosting someone after they were vulnerable is messed up. But never texted him again. You don't say if he texted you and you didn't reply. If he texted you and you didn't reply, then you ghosted him. If you both didn't text each other, then that's like, I guess you technically both ghost each other, but like you probably feel like he wants you to reach out, but you're not. It's a more of a gray area. I don't think it's messed up because that was crazy to do on the first date. That's wild work. If you do think though, and here's the thing, it's like do you think he's crazy or do you think that he it's a wild thing to say, or do you think that he actually is like, some people, they misread cues, and sometimes there is very much a world in which you like he felt that comfortable sharing with you, or like something was on his mind and it just started fumbling out. So there's a list of things. Do I think it was appropriate? No. Do I think you need to like reach out and that's your job? No. I do think though it would be in your interest to say, to close things out, just so you know that door is closed. especially because he does sound a little wild. I don't think like crazy listen he'd do something, but like better to just have that be a closed chapter. And I think you could also respectfully say like, well, I had a nice time. I don't think I see us moving forward. Also, I would like to say that like regardless if someone feels like you're in a safe space, it's a lot to dump on someone on the first date when you're just getting to try to know someone and who they are. Maybe a little note. You don't have to. You do not have to. That is not on you. That is not your job. But I do think it would be a nice gesture, not jester, to say that, no, I don't think so. Thank you for your time. Also, by the way, don't do this again. Because sometimes people need notes. But I feel like if you trauma unload on a little stranger, then project intimacy to them in the first meeting, that's not my job to fix. Absolutely, it's not. I think you can point it out if you feel comfortable doing that, but it's not your job. I think you're fine. I don't even know if I want to consider this ghosting. For me, if you've been talking for a week and you went on one date, like for me, it's like we've been talking for longer than that, and then we went on a date, or we went on a couple dates and then you just didn't reply. Like that's the stuff that's really jacked up. You're kind of in the like it could go either way stage. All right, so we have edit 1, fair point. Ghosting, I guess this is responding to comments. Ghosting straight up was immature. In general, it is. Yeah, you're in your early 20s. I decided to send a brief text message to close it out respectfully. Appreciate the input. Good for you. It is something that like we as a society have gotten very comfortable with. So like, this is again, for me, this is a gray area of like, you didn't have to, but I think it's in your best interest to. I also think that'll send good energy your way. I think I'm glad that you ended up doing it. I think if you ended up not doing it, I wouldn't have seen you as a bad person because of the circumstance. Edit 2, texted and blocked. Thank you. All contacts were mutual cutoff, except Discord. I don't see a loose thread. Concise, clear. Great. Amazing. There was no connection. He doesn't know anything about you. This is hella inappropriate. Absolutely. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, friends. So those were 2 stories I found very interesting. I both kind of related to trauma with dating. I think there's something to say about relatability when you're dating someone. When it's something a little more serious, maybe we wait and not do it on the first date. And maybe if something comes up, what's the way you talk about it light, right? Here's a sprinkling of like, so you had a rough childhood with like your parents. Just be like, the relationship with mom and dad, it's something. Yeah, you know what? It's a conversation for another day, right? You can acknowledge of like, hey, there's some heavy stuff here. They'd be like, yo, me too. And I said, well, we'll save that for a future time where it's like, hey, we might be able to talk about this, but maybe now is not the right time, right? The first date truly is like, let's get to know each other. Family dynamics, friendship dynamics, they're all going to play a part. Even if someone was like, oh, no, have you ever been to this restaurant? Oh, I went there once. It was with an ex. Try not to go there again. Or it's like, you're never supposed to mention an ex. But if you do it in like a way like that, you're not really talking about it. You're talking like it's connected to the story, right? There's always like a little nuance that occurs in these things. So keep that in mind, but just never trauma dump. Also avoid talking about your exes. And do what's right for you. Also, like, try to practice closing out relationships. I'm trying to get better at that. My therapist encourages me to do it, and I do feel better once I do that. So that's it, friends. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I need to go to bed and apparently drink some tea. This throat is killing me. Wink. But I hated that I did that. I hated it. Bye.